just quick revision of that particular whatever we have seen in the last lecture, and then we'll move forward. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So we have seen one example that has three features and one output. So we want to predict heart disease based on these three features: chest pain, good blood circulation, and blocked arteries. So the very first question, from where we have to start, like we have three features: chest pain, good blood circulation, blocked arteries. So we cannot start with like all three features in this place. So we need to select one of them from where we can start. So in order to select it, we first compute impurity of each particular feature. So you'll compute impurity for this, we'll compute impurity for this, and we'll compute impurity for this. So what exactly impurity means, if you have mixed of both category, like if it is a two class classification problem, so you can say here C1 is also there, C2 is also there. So here we have mixed category, so it is impure set, right? And where we have only one single category, like all the places C1 is there, C1 is there, so you can say this is a pure set. So what we want, once we start, we will get some impure set, then we will move towards the purity side. So the question came how to compute it, because just saying impure or pure, it's not enough. So you need to quantify it. So in order to quantify, so we can see from this example as well. So in order to quantify, there is one thing that is known as information gain. So we'll discuss about information gain in in this lecture itself. So what information gain will say, it is saying the importance of particular feature. So that is the information gain. So when you say the importance of particular feature, so in order to compute information gain, there is one method that is known as Gini impurity, right? So suppose we start with the chest pain that we have picked like a first attribute for us, and we compare with the heart disease. So once we computed, we found for yes, once the person who have chest pain, they have these numbers, like if person have chest pain and who have heart disease as well, that is 105. Similarly, those who have chest pain but do not have any heart disease, that is 39. Right. Similarly, those who do not have chest pain but still have heart disease, these are 34. And those who do not have heart disease and they do not have who do not have chest pain, sorry, and they do not have heart disease as well, these are 125. So once we got this number, then what we'll do, we'll do same exercise for good blood circulation, and we just done the counting. So we have completed counting for heart second parameter, you can say good blood circulation. Similarly, we will do for the blocked arteries as well. So once you compute these numbers, these counting part, how many are there, based on that what we will do, you will compute the Gini score, right? So how we will compute the Gini score, let's come into that. So this Gini score, you can say this Gini score is indication of impurity, right? Now you can say what should be the maximum and minimum value. So suppose, so how exactly Gini score is computed? Gini score equal to 1 minus summation of, okay, 1 minus summation of I equal to 1 to, so for example we have here in this our case we have only two numbers. So but if you have multiple classes, suppose I equal to 1 to C means number of classes, and here you will compute the probability, right? So this will be the probability. So let us see the example in this first case. So what we have done, we are saying 1 minus, so not only by mistake, it should be square. So what we will do, 1 minus the probability of yes, means first we are computing probability for this. How will compute? Yes divide by total. So we take total from here, yes divide by total. So we will get the probability of this. Then we will compute probability for no. So we will get how many no? 39 no is there, divide by 105 plus 39 whole square. So once you compute this entire score, this will become Gini score for first node. So that is, you can say 395. Similarly, you will compute Gini score for this as well, right? So once you compute Gini score for this, you will get two Gini scores. First node, it's 0.395 and second node, it's 0.336, right? Any doubt, guys? I think this is clear for you. Anyone, any doubt on this?
सर मल्टी क्लास भी सिमिलर तरीके से होगा ग्रीन
Yes,
लॉस
exactly. So instead of saying yes, no, here you can say, for example, you have multi-class. So for example, you have multi-class, so you can say three classes, you can say C1, C2, C3, and you got number some 100, 50, 50. So then how you will compute Gini score? 1 minus 100 divided by 200 total square minus 50 divided by 200 square minus 50 divided by 200 square. So similarly, you can compute for any number of classes. So because here we have binary class, so you have yes and no. If you have n number of classes, similarly you can compute for n number of classes as well. Any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. So once you compute the Gini score for both the place, now I have to compute Gini score for the chest pain. And how will compute Gini score for the chest pain? This is the weighted average of leaf nodes, means the weighted average for this and this. So how will compute weighted average? Total. So you can say weight of this is 144 divided by total. Weight of this is 159 divided by total and multiply by the Gini score. Right? Multiply by the Gini score. So you can say Gini score for node 1, Gini score for node 2. Right? So once you do the weighted average, you will get the Gini score for node, and this is belonging to the chest pain. So now you have computed Gini score for chest pain, it is 0, 3, 4. Once you computed Gini score for chest pain, similarly you will compute Gini score for other nodes as well. So I think now we can compute Gini score for other nodes as well. Anyone have any problem to compute it once you have all these numbers? Definitely these numbers is coming from the data set. Anyone, any problem on computing these Gini scores? Yes, no?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So once you computed, now you can say which is lesser impure, or you can say which have least Gini values. That will become your root node. So from here you can find out 0.360 will become your root node. That is good blood circulation, right? So then we got good blood circulation as your root node. Now once root node is decided, then you have here it is divided into two parts. The entire data set divided into two parts. One for yes, when they have good blood circulation, and no, when they do not have good blood circulation. Now you can think of, you have another node, and here we have again two possibility. One is so you can say we have two possibility. One for let's say one for chest pain and another for blocked arteries. So you can say chest pain. So you have two options and blocked arteries. Now again what you have to do, based on this number, whatever number is coming here, you will compute Gini score for chest pain and you will compute Gini score for the blocked arteries. Right? Now once you compute the Gini score for chest pain and blocked arteries, you will get to know which one you have to select first, right? And based on that you will move ahead. It means it is working like a divide and conquer. So suppose this is your entire data set. Now this entire data set, this is the first part and this is the second part. First part can say good blood circulation is equal to yes, and here you have good blood circulation equal to no, right? Okay, so 0 plus 4 4 Okay. So now, where is the plus 44? Which country? Okay, leave it. Okay. So now we have two parts. So you can say this analysis. Let me change the color. You can say this analysis, what is performed here, this analysis will be based on only this part, and second analysis from this side, this will be based on only this part. Getting? So now you have divided a bigger problem into two sub problems. Now again you will look into two sub problems independently, right? So then what we'll do, once you got those who have good blood circulation, yes, they have these numbers, means now entire analysis will be done on these numbers. So you have computed this. So again you have to select, either you have to go for the chest pain or you have to go for the blocked arteries. So then based on this data, you can say half part of, not exactly half, but whatever part of data, you can say P1 part. In this P1 part of data, you have computed Gini score for chest pain and you have computed Gini score for blocked arteries, right? So again you computed Gini score. Based on that you decided you first go for the blocked arteries. So you decided and move for the blocked arteries, right? So after good blood circulation you have blocked arteries. Now in this blocked arteries again you have two options, yes and no. Getting? So in yes again you have some numbers, in no again you have some numbers. So again last we have chest pain, so you divided this last yes part with the chest pain, that you got these numbers 17,3, 722. That is the final node, because now you do not have any more features, so you cannot move ahead. So you reach to the leaf node, right? Now here we have another variety of analysis. Is really this will be beneficial to break it down or not? Because if you compute Gini score for this, that is 13 divided by 102. So if you want to compute Gini score, how you will compute for this node? That is 13 yes and 102 no. So you can say this is yes and this is no. So if you want to compute, you can say 1 minus 13 divided by 115 whole square minus 102 divided by 115 whole square. So once you compute it, you will get a Gini score for this node, right? For this node. So again, what we have done, suppose we already computed Gini score for this. Let's break it down. So we assume, let's break it down. We have done assumption. Let's break it. Once we have break this particular part, you got this output. Once you break it, you got this output for this section. So you can say this section, if you break it down, you will reach here, right? So now you computed Gini score for this chest pain with the same method what we already done, right? Then it is coming 0.29. And if you will not break down, then you computed Gini score like this, and you will get a number that is 0.2. So if you will break it, then Gini score 0.29. If you will not break it, then your impurity will be 0.2. So then it's clearly mentioned you do not need to break it. If you break it, it actually, instead of improving the result, it is like going in the reverse direction. Is it clear now?
So we break the no on chest pain, right?
Yes, break based on the chest pain.
The no part also and the yes part also, both of
Yes,
them.
but yes, we initially start with that. We break for the yes, we break for the no. But in case of yes, we get better result. So
Yes.
it will give the profit, so we keep it. But in no part, it is not giving profit, even it is going the reverse of that. So it is like reducing the quality of result. So then we will not break it. Instead of breaking it, we will say, let's make this node itself as the leaf node. So then we'll make it as a leaf node.
Even before breaking, like we can see the number of yeses are very less in the no part already.
Yes, true,
So
true.
as in we should not go any further and break down and check the Guinea loss and then decide whether to break it or not. You can
So
just look at the data, I guess.
yes, definitely. But if you have very weak data set, you want to automate the entire thing, because you are not going to visualize the data every part of, or you can say every moment. So you should have some mechanism to do it.
All right. So we can set a threshold value for this also then.
Right, we can definitely, like when you look into the bigger data set, it is very much possible, like if you go and on, you will not reach to a particular position, even you are decreasing the results. So you can put a threshold on Gini score itself, like what is the acceptable level, and till that moment you will break, otherwise you will not break.
Yes, sir.
Getting any doubt, guys? Anyone, any doubt here? How we decided that this should be leaf node instead of breaking this further? Anyone, any doubt?
So can we also infer this that when we branched it for, as in when we break it further and we got a Guinea score more than the previous node, can we infer that overfitting is also happening?
Actually, not overfitting in this moment. It is actually a underfit, going towards the underfit, because your score is going down.
So, but I guess it should be overfit because now we are considering, like, we are fixating on those features by breaking it down even more.
Yeah, like that is true. When you break further and further, it will reach towards the overfitting problem. So definitely we'll discuss in upcoming lecture, like how you compute the overfitting or how you control the overfitting in this decision tree as well.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Guys, any doubt in the computation? Anyone? At least say someone. Yes, no.
No, sir.
कोई और भी बोलेगा? कंसिस्टेंट एक ही आवाज आ रही है.
सर तो जब भी हम नोड ब्रेक करते हैं हर नोड पे चेक करना पड़ता है ये कि उसको
Yes.
फर्दर सब डिवाइड करना है या नहीं.
Yes, definitely. Each and every node we have to check it out. This computation will repeat and repeat again and again on the remaining data, whatever the remaining data you can say.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have computed left part. Similarly, we have done the same analysis on this part as well. So once you do same analysis, you found for yes, blocked trees have more Gini score, but for no, chest pain has more Gini, you can say more Gini score. So here it is divided into the chest pain. It doesn't mean like whatever in this side, the same will be in this side. No, it is depend upon the data what will remain here. Getting everyone? Any doubt till this part? Guys, any doubt till this part? Anyone?
No, sir.
Cool. So now this we have seen this till now, that is all binary data, but it is not always true that we have binary data. So suppose you have number data, so definitely we have to perform operation on number data as well, where you have series of data, you can say multiple numbers are there. So what we'll do, so you have to again find the threshold from where you will make a cut. So what we'll do, first thing, you will sort those numbers. You simply done the sorting, right? So you simply done the sorting, right? After the sorting, you will take average here, average of these two, average of these two, average of these two, average of these two, and you will get the average number. So you got some average here, some average, some average, some average. Now you will make this as a condition. What will be the condition? Weight is less than, let's say, equal to 167.5. Now this will be your condition, and in this condition you have yes and no, right? And in yes you will compute heart disease, yes and no. And once you have this condition, you again compute heart disease. So this is your leaf node, yes and no. Now you will get some number here, all the places. This is like, this is the output you are talking about here, output. So based on that number, what you will do, you will compute the Gini impurity. So how exactly we'll do? Suppose you have selected 167.5. So you say weight is less than 167.5. So it is up to you, like you want to make equal or not. So that the process will like consistent in all the places. That's it. So we have computed. We say if it is less than this, yes, these are zero numbers. No, this is one number. So you computed Gini score for this node. Similarly, you will have another node that is like this is yes side, this is no side. You have computed Gini score for this as well. Now what you will do? You will compute weighted average for the Gini score for this condition what we have developed, right? So we computed weighted average for this condition and you found the Gini score for this node. So you can say we have computed weighted average.
Sir, from where did we get that yes and no for that heart disease, sir?
This is from the data. So you can say if it is 155 that it is no, if it is 180 it is yes, it is 190 this is no, if the value is 120 220 it is yes. So from here you will do the counting, from the data you will do the counting. So you simple count, weight is less than 167, so you can say actually we are talking about only this value. So heart disease, no, so you can say there is no yes, so it is 0 and no is 1. Remaining all data will go to this side and based on that you have computed. So suppose you have only 5 data points, right? So based on that 5 data points you have say, so this line, so you can say this is your division line. Let me change the color. So suppose you are saying you have divided from here with this particular condition. So whatever in upside that will come here. So you can say this will part come here and whatever in this side that will come here. Getting? So now you can count. Similarly, how many yes are there? 0. So you got 0. How many no are there? 1. So you got here. Now you compute here how many yes are there? 3. So you will get 3 here. How many no are there? 1. So you will get 1 here. Clear? Any doubt on this?
So
Yes. Yeah.
So, like in case of very large data set, this method is generally very computationally expensive.
It is.
So like even what I do in practice is I take the mean of the entire column to consider a threshold value. So like what will be the difference in the final results in both the approaches?
So here, like there are like various ways to find out the threshold. There are like one is the mean, another one you go one by one and look into the values. Many times it happens if you look into the mean, right? Maybe few values, these are really big in the number. So because of that, mean is shifted towards that side. For example, let me take one example. Suppose I am saying this number is this. The last number is become 22500. So in that case, where will be the mean? Definitely mean will be here. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now this will become your condition and actually it is not dividing the entire data set properly. So different in the different data set might be different dividing factor will be used. But in general, to understand the process, we can say we are taking average of 2 consecutive nodes after the sorting and that will become your threshold. Then we will check for each of these threshold. We will check for 167.5, then we'll check for 185, then we'll check for 205, then we'll check for 225 and whichever have the least Gini score that will become your final or you can say final node. So here you can say our final node will become weight is less than 205 and based on that we will move ahead. Getting everyone?
So I guess the dividing mechanism like depends on the distribution of that column itself.
Yes, definitely it depends. So that's why like there is no uniform, like there are multiple papers, you can say multiple methods are proposed in this itself.
Yes.
If you have a continuous column, do we need to divide only in two parts? Like here we have put one condition. There are multi children as well, where you are saying instead of one condition you are putting three conditions. Condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So that is also there. It always not like yes and no. So instead of saying one condition, we are saying we have three different conditions, like we have seen in the first example where we talk about the height. Have you remember that example?
Yes, sir.
So in that, for example, let me go back. Yeah. What we have done, we divided this into three conditions. Instead of one, we have divided into three conditions. So that is like a advancement of that particular division. Is really one is good enough? Is really two is good enough? Is really multi is enough? So that is the advanced level. You can say in the different variety of splitting is proposed in the literature. So here we want to understand the basic things, like what is the process for that. Even getting the process, like this is the one of the easiest process we are talking about, where you take the average of two consecutive nodes and check each and every point. Definitely it is computationally expensive. There is no doubt on that. This is computationally expensive.
So.
Yes, please.
Sir, can you make everyone attendee?
Oh.
People are removing each other. That's why.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Why they are doing this, यार? क्या मजा आता है इनको? Just give me a minute. Yeah, done. Guys, please do not do these things. I don't know why are you doing these things. तुम आपस में खेल रहे हो, that is a different story, but please, it is actually disturbing others as well. Okay, so we have seen the Gini score, and that is used for the you can say measure the impurity. So you can say this is the generalized formula for that. So if you have J answer, so J is representing number of classes. How many classes are there? So suppose you have 10 classes, so it will become, you will compute for each class and then you will apply it in this formula. So this is the generalization of that Gini impurity. Getting? So now, can you compute Gini impurity for this? Quickly. You have to do it. Even without calculation, I can give answer.
So 0?
Yes,
So 0.
it will be 0. Right? Because 0, 1 minus 0 divided by 6 square minus 6 divided by 6 square. So 1 minus 1, all 0. So once you say you have this kind of clear class, then the Gini impurity will be 0. What about this? What will be the Gini impurity for this? Quickly compute it. These are small numbers, you can compute easily. You can use calculator as well if you are not really comfortable with the plus minus into divide. Square as well. So what will be the Gini impurity for this? I am hoping everyone is doing it in their end, at least trying.
So 10.
10. Gini impurity cannot be more than 0.5.
10 by 36.
Sorry, sir.
10 by
0.2.
36.
So
By
it will
36.
be
10 by 36.
now you can
10
compute.
by 36.
25. Okay, yeah, 10 by 36, true. What about this? 1 minus 2 divided by 6 square minus 4 divided by 6 square. You can easily compute. It's 0.444. One last. C1, C2, 5, 5. What will be the Gini impurity for this?
Sir, 0.5.
0.5, right? So the Gini impurity graph is look like this. What happened? Gini impurity graph will look like this, where the maximum value is 0.5 and 0 and 0. So this is like positive, this is like negative. If all negative, then also 0. If all positive, then also 0. And when it is completely balanced, like this case, then you will get 0.5. So your Gini impurity always between 0 and 0.5, right? So this is one way to compute the impurity, or you can say to select that particular node is really good node or bad node, or you can say pure node or impure node, right? So this is like simple formula for that. So you already computed for this. Now this is again a quick exercise. You have these values. What will be the final Gini impurity? Can you compute Gini impurity for this B? Gini index for B. So what will be for N1 node? Anyone can speak, I will write. Definitely 1 minus. Anyone computing or not? Okay, आगे already. So
Sir,
this will be
1
minus 5 by 7 square minus 0.2 by 7 square. Similarly for this, right? Now what about Gini impurity for B? How you will compute Gini impurity for B? That is the parent node. Weighted average. How you will compute it? The weighted average. So we'll simply compute weighted average 7 by 12, 0.408, 5 by 12, 0.32, and that will become Gini impurity for B, right? I think now you still have any doubt on this Gini impurity? Anyone? Any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Cool. Now we'll, yes, I heard yes. Anyone have any doubt? I'm not accessing
No,
the
sir.
chat here, so please speak.
No, sir.
Yeah. So now, so similarly, what you can say, as I told you, there is a multi-way split as well. For example, you have 3 different classes, then you can split it further. Even there are ways to split in 2 sides where you combine 2 different variety in one way and 2 different things in one way. So there are different ways as well to deal with the categorical variable if they have categorical variable. So you can combine 2 together, or you can say you are taking each category separately. So there are various ways to make the decisions. Now we already seen one way to compute the impurity. Then there is another way to compute the impurity, that is entropy. This is the new way, or you can say another way to compute the impurity, that is known as entropy. How will compute? You will compute based on this formula, minus Pj divided by T. J means you are talking about particular value, divided by total T, again log of Pj divided by T, sorry, right? So let's look into the example, then it will be more clear. Sorry, suppose you have this value C1 and C2. How will compute the entropy? So how will compute the entropy? So simply we will say probability of class 1, probability of class 2, and we'll append it here. So this is the probability of class 1, this is the probability of class 2, and you will get final answer here. Getting? Now let's take another example, then it will be more clear. We have taken probability of C1, probability of C2, and you compute 1 by 6 log of base 2, 1 by 6 minus 5 by 6 log base 2, 1 by, sorry, this should be 5 by 6, my mistake, right? This should be 5 by 6. Now similarly you will compute for this. So what will be for this? What will be the entropy? What will be entropy for this? Can you compute? Or just tell me the expression.
2 by 6 log 2.
2 by 6
2 by
log
6 log base 2, 2 by
2 by
6
6
minus
minus
4 by
4 by
6
6
log 2.
log 2 4 by 6.
4.
Right? So in that way you can compute the entropy for this. So you got entropy here. This entropy is also saying, you can say the impurity of the node, right? So you can say when entropy is 0, so maximum entropy, let just compute for this as well, C1, C2, and the value is 5, 5. Can you compute entropy for this? So you can say completely balanced. What will be the entropy for this?
1.
1, right? So the entropy, maximum entropy is 1 and minimum entropy is 0. So then you can say if it is completely impure set, then the entropy is 1. If it is completely pure set, then entropy is 0. And everything comes between 0 and 1. That is known as entropy. So can you compute entropy now? Any doubt on this? Anyone? Can you compute entropy
No,
as
sir.
well? Okay. So now in case of entropy, how you compute information gain? So you have to compute information gain from individual nodes. So how you compute the information gain, and that is deciding the splitting. That is entropy of P minus weighted sum of entropy of I. Right. So you can say what is P, what is I. So this is the entropy of parent node. And this is the weighted sum of each child node. Right? So let's take this example. So here we have given like a measurement of impurity. Let's take one example. You already seen if it is a pure set, the entropy will be 0. If it is like completely impure set, maximum impurity, equal values of plus and minus, then it will be 1. Right? Now let's look into the information gain. So as I told you, information gain equal to entropy for parents and average entropy of the children. Right? So first look into this part. Let me change the color so that it will be, let me take black. Right? So first look into this part, this one. So here you have 4 instances, you can say for minus, let me say this is minus, and 13 instance for plus. So how you compute entropy for this? 13 divided by 17 log base 2, 13 divided by 17, 4 divided by 17 log base 2, 4 divided by 17, and you computed entropy for this. Now second, we computed entropy for the second child, right? You got entropy for the second child. In here you have only 1 plus and you have 12 minus. So this 13 instance you can say 1 plus and 12 minus, right? So based on that, you computed the entropy. It is 1 divided by 13. So minus 1 divided by 13 log base 2, 1 divided by 13 minus 12 divided by 13 log base 2, 12 divided by 13, and you got this number. So you got entropy for both the numbers, for this, for this. So you got entropy for child 1 and you got entropy for child 2. Getting? So what will be the weighted entropy for this child? Or you can say both the childs. Similarly, as we calculated previously, the weighted average of Gini. Similarly, we will calculate weighted average of entropy. So that will become 17 divided by 30 into 0.787, that is coming from this, right? Then 13 divided by 30 into 0.391, that is coming from here, and that will become weighted average for child, right? Now you want to compute the information gain. For information gain, you have to compute entropy for parents as well. So let's compute entropy for parents. So now you will compute entropy for parents. So you can say total minus and total plus. So here you have total minus are, let's say 14, and total plus are 16. So based on that, you computed the entropy for parent. Getting everyone? Any doubt on this? Guys, any doubt on this? How we computed entropy
No,
for
sir.
parent? Right? So you got the entropy for parent, that is 0.0996. Now you will put in this formula. So all the values will put in this formula, right? We'll put in this formula. So we have taken this formula here. So 0. So let me take the different colors so that I can easily point it out. Right. Is this one? So now you have taken 0.096. This is the parent entropy that is coming from here. This is the child entropy, that is the weighted child entropy that is coming from here, right? And you have computed final information gain, that is 0.38. Getting? So here information gain, who have more information gain, that will become your main, or you can say important node. Getting? It's a reverse. Who have more information gain, more value, that will become your you can say important node here. Getting? So you can say the gain is higher, that is the good. Any doubt on this, guys? Can you compute entropy? Can you compute Gini score? Can you compute information gain? Any doubt? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so be ready for these kind of questions in the exam. You will get similar kind of like division, and then you have to compute all those values. So it's like just the information for you, in advanced information. Getting? So now this is the summary of slide. You can say summarize. We want to summarize it. Suppose you have like without any numbers, more on the just variables. So suppose here A. So for A or B, we want to compute. So the total numbers are this. Now once you compute based on A, you divide based on A. So that will become node N1, that will become node N2. So here we got number N10, N11. For N2, it will be N20, N21. Once you divide based on B, you will get node N3 and N4. These will be the numbers. Again, these all will be the number that is coming from the data set by counting. Right? So suppose you are saying based on this number, this is the quality, or you can say impurity. So how will compute impurity? There are two ways to compute impurity. One is the based on Gini, and second is the based on entropy. And once you combine entropy, that will give the information gain. Right? So here we have two methods. One is CART, C-A-R-T, and another is ID3. Like two different algorithms are there to make the decision tree. CART use entropy and information gain, and ID3 use Gini score. to find out the, you can say, splitting. Ultimately, these are used for the splitting. What is the best split, right? So ID3 use Gini score to make the splitting, and card will use entropy and information gain to make the split. Guys, any doubt till now in this decision tree? Now what is the remaining part? Just you have to automate the entire things. Now you got all the tools with you. So tools means how to compute the importance of node. You will get Gini score. Which should be the first? So suppose you are talking about ID3, which should be the first? Which have least Gini score, that will be the first attribute that will be selected. And based on that, again you have whatever the remaining data, based on that again you compute the Gini score and compute the best attribute, right? How you will compute the binary? It is quite simple because you have two answers, yes and no. But if you have numeric data, you will sort it and find out the best result based on the Gini score or based on the entropy. Means if you use Gini score, entire thing will be based on, it is like the mixing is not there. Might be you can think of like in the later, like you want to mix both the algorithm cart and ID3 and devise a new algorithm. That is up to you. I didn't experiment on that, but if you want, you can do it. Let's take both the values and average it out, and you will have some ensemble way, like where you are taking both the things and combine together. But if you use one of them, definitely you can move ahead. So you got all the answers. Now one thing is we have not tested out how to compute the loss for this. Like how to compute is really this is a good decision tree or not, and that finding good decision tree or not, that is based on the loss function, right? So in the next lecture we'll talk about loss function, and not only loss function for this, we'll talk about different other variety of loss functions, like which kind of application we will use which variety of loss. Like we have already seen two losses, one for the linear regression, one for the logistic regression. Similarly, we will see other losses as well. There are many other losses in the machine learning domain, so we'll see those losses as well, and we'll see the details of that, what is the formulation for that and all those things. That is in the next lecture, that will be on the Monday. Okay, before ending the lecture, there are few announcements. First announcement, you will have a quiz in the next week, so be prepared for that. And second, you will have a lab viva in the next week. So lab viva will be happen in the second lab. Like suppose V1 batch has two lab, first lab and second lab. So in the second lab your viva will be happen, right? Similarly for other batches, like so for example B4 have one lab in Monday and another lab on Thursday, so your viva will be on Thursday. Getting? So that's it for today.
So one question.
Yeah.
Sir, both entropy and Gini impurity have the same mathematical